I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
And we are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching My Hero Academia Season 6, Episode 2. Last episode was one of the best first episodes of My Hero Academia to date. I loved it. It was a lot was going on. We had...
It burst through our expectations of what last episode was going to be.
I completely agree.
It kicked the Nomu's head in, basically. It just completely smashed our expectations.
Yeah, I agree. We got to catch up with the doctor who has a quirk. We've seen that doctor since, episode 1, when he told Deku that there was not going to be anything, no quirk to awaken inside of him. But also in this episode, we saw Mirko fight, which has awakened something inside of me. And I am excited to see more of that battle that we're going to get, you know?
Mainly more Mirko, right?
Yes, definitely. I'm a little bit worried for her because Shigaraki is here. Like, this feels like something that is going to happen and we're going to get, like, the advantage, like... You know.
Yeah, but we don't know how much longer the doctor needed with Shigaraki. Is this one of those moments where the doctor can just press a button and Shigaraki is like now more powerful and is about to fight Mirko? I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to think. When are the other heroes going to catch up to Mirko? Does she even need the help? We haven't really gotten enough of a gauge of power scale for her and how much she can handle.
Yeah.
So I'm a little apprehensive.
I believe that they said that there was still a couple of months for Shigaraki to be in the tank. That being said...
Couple of months for the best result.
Yeah, you can be released early. And that's what I'm scared of. That being said, Mirko's awesome.
And am I right to think that all of these jars that are in this hidden room are all quirks? Or something of the sort? Things he's taken from people?
I think so. I believe so. Probably to work on Nomus and put them in Nomus. I'm wondering if we're going to get any POV from outside of the hospital, or if this episode is going to be strictly business in the hospital. I mean, Mirko just wrecked Johnny, and I was happy to see it. So the doctor's going to be upset.
I think we might stay in the hospital at the moment, at least for this episode, and not see what everyone else is up to and the other group that are not at the hospital. I did think it was interesting, though. I think it's a good thing to add when we talk about the doctor is that we see the doctor now as this villain, and the people around this area do not think of him as that.
Yeah.
The two that rushed to him as he was on the ground, even though that was a decoy, that was a fake. But
double.
This is going to be very upsetting for a lot of people. This result that the doctor is evil.
I feel like we're at the top of a roller coaster, and last episode we started going down. Like, I feel like it's going to be just, oh my god, story, action.
We're getting like closer to the end.
I don't know about the end, but I just like... It feels like at least the next 5 episodes are going to be focused on what we're dealing with right now. And that's always exciting. Like the end or the start of season 4, for example, right? We had a build up for Overhaul, and then we got the whole mission. Mm-hmm. I feel like we're already I feel like I did in season 4 when we first took steps inside of the facility, mm-hmm. To save Eri. I feel like we're already on this journey.
I know, and we just started the season.
Yeah, I know. It's incredible. I love the pacing at the moment. But, yeah. You ready?
Yes.
Sweet. Okay, that was My Hero Academia, Season 6, Episode 2. I agree with you. That was, the Red Riot moment for Kaminari. We had a really good, animation moment of him last season during the team battles. Mm-hmm. But this, the scale of it. Oh, my
God, I am so happy.
The connection between him and Jiro was amped up so much, but I was feeling it. Up. I was feeling it though.
Yeah, there was definitely a charge in the air between them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sparks were flying.
Sparks were flying. That's a good one. I like that.
Oh, I'm glad that we got a bit of us, UA. I like seeing us and our students, and even though we're younger and we need that extra help, we're still making such a big impact. This would have definitely affected our numbers if Kaminari wasn't there.
No wonder they needed him to be on this front line for the villa, because they obviously had in mind that he was the best one to deal with this vice commander's quirk.
Yeah. I wonder how much intel, like, to that degree do they have from Hawks? Do they know each one of their commanders?
Who's Tokoyami supposed to, like, deal with? And what's his quirk supposed to be helping with? I can't wait to see kind of that planning ahead that they had in mind for each of these quirks.
I mean, it's really cool that Tokoyami's here because this is the place that Hawks was, and Tokoyami and Hawks have that connection. Tokoyami
is that why he's here?
Maybe. I just didn't expect this episode to be something that we got like such a cool Kaminari moment at. Like
how
the
they
shot
drew him.
He looks so cool.
He looks so awesome.
Yeah, and I love everybody appreciating it.
I felt that same happiness, like deep happiness and excitement to the Red Riot scene, you know, as we were fighting Overhaul, where it was like this side character, this person that's also in the class, but you in your mind think lesser of them than Bakugo or Todoroki.
They get less
or
screen time.
Deku, but you also probably think of them as maybe they'd be lesser heroes, like just not the pinnacle of hope, symbol of hope, you know, type people, but they are shining, and to give them that like spotlight where they are extra useful here.
Yeah.
To the point of like, yes, they're useful, but they also look really cool.
Yeah.
And like, and you get a little bit of more of their personality with them looking cool or something they care about. Because with like Red Riot, we got his past with Mina during that same kind of episode, and then we have this connection in like the interpersonal connections with the class with Jiro and Kaminari. I loved it so much.
It's so good. I love it. It seems like they're all having, like, we obviously know Deku and Bakugo have a very intimate relationship and like special relationship, and that doesn't mean that he isn't like...
It's very special.
He isn't like... He obviously has relationships with Ida and Todoroki as well, but it's nice to see these other classmates have very close-knit relationships, like, in their own pairs,
like,
you
that's
know?
who their best friend is, or the person they spend most of their downtime with.
Shout out to the Endeavor moment with Eraserhead. I was really happy to have that.
It was some student-teacher conference that's never happened before, and it was like amazing.
It's not too late to be my sidekick now, kind of thing.
And I think what made it like even better for me is the fact that it was like Endeavor. Endeavor has gone through this like being really intimidating and not able to crack jokes or be sarcastic or be fun loving, and that was such like a fun loving, funny moment with him. Like he was most definitely maybe like a little bit joke. Maybe he'd love if Eraserhead was his sidekick, but he obviously said it in that moment as like a funny bit.
Since we didn't watch it all together, one thing we never really got to talk about was the attempted redemption. I'm not going to say if they managed to pull it off for every viewer or not, but the attempted...
They didn't manage... I mean, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Did they manage to pull it off for every character in the show and every viewer, you know?
But
everyone's going to be a mixed bag with that.
The redemption of Endeavor and the attempt of that redemption has to be one of like the coolest things and aspects about My Hero Academia as a whole to me, because very, very early on, we were, at least I was thinking, rock bottom of him. How can you not? You know, that's how they painted him to us. That's how he was.
Maybe it was like one of those examples of the ultimate villain is the one at home, you know, the one that is under the guise of hero, you know, especially with that like hero killer stain kind of energy where it's like people who are not deserving of the fame and the title and the money of being a hero because maybe they're not actually a great person.
Yeah.
I thought he was like the pinnacle example of that.
He's easily one of my favorite characters in the entire show. Just like how much depth they have put into his writing and his character. We got to see the number 6 hero, Crust, with the quirk shield.
He like cried a little bit.
He's a very prideful man.
I definitely feel like this Nomu has fought him.
You think?
Because I mean, I know they're intelligent, but villains who were particularly strong-willed in their ideas of wanting to be villains and be vengeful were chosen. And he knew who Crust was, which it could be safe to say they've been downloaded with a bunch of information. But I just think it's way more compelling to think that this was a villain that Crust defeated or killed.
I am very afraid for Mirko. Obviously, she kicked ass, right? And one of my favorite things in the show is when we get a quirk that's really simple, or like one line or two lines, but that it's the hero that takes that quirk and makes it into something top 10 worthy, you know? Froppy has the powers of a frog, right?
I think the best part of it is they are not animals I would typically think of if you were like, hey, pick some, like, try to make a really strong hero with an animal quirk.
Yeah.
And you'd probably go with animals that are maybe thought of more in predatory roles than a frog or a bunny rabbit. But just the fact that, like, both of their skills, and I think it's because they have prey skills, which is why they're more useful.
That's a good point.
Because predators are just strong and fast and maybe have sharp teeth, but the quickness, the evasion, the camouflage, the long tongue to catch like food, you know, resourceful. Yeah. And I feel like because they're animals that have to do maybe more work in order to eat or survive is why they make way better quirks for heroes.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's very true. This is going to sound really weird to say because there's a lot, and this is one of my most probably wrong takes that I've had.
Oh, gosh.
But in this show, I think that they typically do sexualize some characters in regards to what they're wearing, and then shots we see sometimes. In a weird way, I feel like Mirko doesn't have a lot of sexualized shots.
Oh, I feel like it's mostly just that her body is like a strong, you know, female body that in itself she's like, wow, she's hot, you know?
Like,
but I don't think it's overly sexualized either.
Yeah, like if we're getting a shot of behind Mirko in some shots of My Hero Academia or some other anime, like they're like, ooh, it's a girl and a butt.
See, I didn't think of it. Yeah, like,
I don't think of it that way.
I think it's also because her quirk is a rabbit.
Yeah.
That of course she's gonna land like that, you know?
But like it's like her character and her attitude and the actions that she's doing.
Her attitude.
All of that is what is making her attractive to me. Like her personality, her person, her like acrobatics, like everything is coming together in one, what would you call it? One character rather than just being like, oh, it's a like sexualized
You
thing.
know who she has energy of? In Jujutsu Kaisen, Nobara is basically like, I'm going to be strong and pretty at the same time. She doesn't use her sexuality in the way that maybe like Midnight does.
Yeah.
Or Mount Lady or something, you know, to have the fans like them. But it's like, she's like, I'm strong and I'm hot. Like, ultimate icon for women. Like,
I love
it's so good.
I'm very worried about her. I think her arm's gone. I think it's gone. I don't...
No kiss it, make it better?
I don't think so, because I don't really understand the details of what happened with this Nomu's quirk that caused her arm to be twisted to oblivion.
He put a cut in it, and I think maybe it's because he touched and drew blood is why he could twist in that way. But she says something. She's like, I can't fight like this much longer. I'm not sure. She says something at the very end when she's standing there tying up her arm.
Yeah.
And I would like to see what she said.
You're right. She had the cut and that let him have some type of control over the arm itself. But it looked devastated. Great
and her
animation.
Mindset over the whole thing and how she kept fighting.
Yeah.
Okay, so when she lands and she ties it up, she says, I guess I can't ignore this and still do my job. Oh, does she mean, is that why she's tying it up?
Yeah.
Because she can't ignore it? Okay. I got worried when I first read it, when we were watching, that she meant, like, she might not be able to continue doing her job.
I live every day expecting to die. Her expression on her face is so amazing. So that I won't have any regrets even if I do die. Worried for her. Extremely worried for her. And her life. And I won't be able to take it if they do kill her. But she did say zombies won't be able to kill the hero, Mirko.
And she's so right to call them zombies because they are corpses that have been
We had some great animation though from the fight with her, and
Do you see how the background around his hand was warping and distorting in the same way of him twisting? It's almost like he was distorting space and time. By doing this.
God, Luna Fall. I
love that all of her moves are like Luna something.
I like that they're all like a lot of them are leg based. Like
it fits with the bunny rabbit.
It does, but it's like really cool to see visually and how they actually like choreographed it.
I think one of my favorite parts of her design is her feet.
Oh yeah. I love her doing like a hurricanrana around this Nomu's neck and ripping his just head off.
Rips it off.
It's amazing. And then she lands. Like, it's great. Ugh. Luna Tijeris? I don't know, but it was cool, and I liked it.
Even her like her long eyelash thing. The whole design of Mirko is
amazing.
So
10 out of 10.
Flawless. It's my favorite, I think, in terms of like the women in the show. I don't know if I think Hawks might be my favorite like guy design.
Yeah.
But I think Mirko is my favorite.
That's fair.
Maybe my favorite. I don't know. If you put like Hawks and Mirko next to each other, that's a tougher argument for me to decide which like hero design I like better.
I'm scared of the 5 high ends because they were like introduced almost like their own characters rather than just a Nomu. And
it's like we were given like commoners, middle, and then tough. And then it's like, oh, but these are even like, these don't even count in that ranking. That's terrifying.
So Johnny's dead. Mocha's dead. Hopefully there's no more.
Am I supposed to feel bad? They are creepy.
You have to acknowledge they have cool shoes.
He gave them shoes. It's like he gave Dobby a sock.
I don't know. I'm very scared for
10 hours. I think I might have said 14. 10 hours to achieve stability, not full potential necessarily, but able to fully control these quirks that they've been given and their reanimation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just a little scared for Mirko.
Me too, but we can't let the high ends get to the 10-hour mark.
Yeah.
Do you think since they gave us that information, their goal, at least one high end is going to get to the 10-hour mark?
Maybe.
No way, right?
I think that it's more focused on Shigaraki and his percentage. I don't think the high end thing will happen.
Okay. He was at 71% when we last saw Shigaraki.
But unless Mirko gets back up very soon, hopefully from Endeavor, I am worried for her.
Well, right now Crust is trying to get in with all those other heroes, but they're having issue with the one high end that basically crammed himself into the tunnel.
You know, like we need like something to help deal with 5 high ends, not like.
But just the fact that Mirko is fighting 5 high ends at once.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like, yes, of course she had to come out of that with like some injury, but she also, I think, just destroyed 2 of them or 3. 2 or 3 of them.
I love that she like stopped her getting thrown into the wall.
Yes. You just brought up the like mid-roll screen where it shows like a little showcase of the heroes. So when it was Mirko, I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense. And then the next one was Kaminari. And I was like, why? Why are we showcasing him right now? Like, I had no clue that this was coming at the like last half of the episode. But I was like, why is he in the mid-roll next to Mirko? Like, why not like Crust or some other professional hero?
Last episode, I might have been able to make a guess that Mirko was going to do more badass things this episode, but I was not at all going to be able to make a guess that Kaminari was going to shine. Good episode, though.
It was a really good episode. I especially think that we need to make sure to mention that Bakugo is being nice and ringing doorbells, and he didn't go ding, 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 ding. He just, he rung it once, and he alerted the people.
Yeah. That's more privacy than I thought Bakugo was going to display in that.
Break down their doors and be like, hey, or like look through their windows and be like, you're on your couch watching TV. Get out of here.
I appreciate it. And it's it makes sense that that's their job. They do have quirks that would help them do things quickly.
It is, it's just so, if you had asked me, like, who would be on the front lines to attack out of the students to attack the villa or the hospital, I would not have been like, Tokoyami and Kaminari are going to be on the front lines. I would have picked 3 of the characters that are evacuating people outside of the hospital right now.
I mean, but these are all characters who can fight from a distance that are going in first, right?
That's true.
Like, they have abilities that they can use, like, without directly injuring themselves, potentially.
Gosh. I feel like I just need to, like, sit in front of pictures of each group, you know, and kind of be like, oh, okay, that's why they're there and not in the front, or that's why they're in the back, or that's why they're attacking the hospital, and the
actual like doing of the Jiro moment for Kaminari and it like finding her and going back was so cute and so emotional.
She was plugged in.
Yeah,
their quirks go so well together.
Do you think they're gonna push a relationship there?
Well, they did some really good groundwork for that, and that moment made my heart flutter a little bit. So yeah, I'd be cool with it. Both of these characters have lightning bolts in their head. Yeah. Charge bolt and this vice commander.
There's one hero I really want to see in action, and it's the one, I could be wrong. I don't know what his name is. It's like he has like a sorcerer's hat on, and it's red, and it's like taped yellow. He looks like a magician. Scarecrow. Yeah, well, I think he looks like a magician, like a mage. Yeah. Like in the Skyrim. It
kind of looks like he went to a thrift store and just bought a bunch of things and put a few different color scarves on his hat, and then like got a grandma's kind of poncho.
I think he looks like somebody you'd find at like the Renaissance fair who is like, you know,
who went to Goodwill beforehand.
Maybe. I'll concede. I hope we see Miss Joke in action too.
So why is Miss Joke on the front lines?
How are the villains going to properly fight back if they're laughing it up?
That is true. That's a quick way to restrain people and keep them from activating their quirks.
I also want to see the samurai guy, the old guy, and Sonic.
I forgot that the mushroom girl, I think her name is like Komori. Mm-hmm. And Mudman. Yeah. And Mudman. Oh, I hope we get to see them in action.
It's probably a great thing that we had a showcase of all their quirks last season before this happened, right? Mm-hmm.
I feel like the 2 professional heroes that are at the most risk of something bad happening to them at the moment are Fat Gum and Midnight.
Why?
Because they have students that they're also kind of looking after at the same time. And I think that both of them would obviously, I mean, all the heroes would prioritize the students, like saving them, but they are tasked with basically actually being beside them and making sure that they're able to, what did Eraserhead say to Deku when we were fighting Overhaul? He was like, I'm here to make sure that you do this the way that you wanted to, or something. That's like a horrible way to like phrase it. But their minds are going to be so focused on ensuring that the student survives, has good growth here, is able to accomplish what they want to accomplish, is safe, all of those things. Yeah. While also fighting villains with a bunch of different quirks.
That's true.
So I'm a little nervous for them.
I just feel bad for Joke. I'm sure she's upset that she's not with Eraserhead. She was at the
hospital with Eraserhead, yeah. If any relationship is going to come out of this.
It's that.
It's that.
Or Eraserhead and Endeavor. She has competition. You good? Mm-hmm. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we hope to see you next time.